Hi friends, thank you so much for joining me. Cole Chance here with Yoga Tribe in beautiful Bali, and wanted to share some hip openers. I've been traveling a lot and oh my gosh, sitting so much, and it's so challenging on the hips, airplanes, trains, cars, even if you're just traveling back and forth to work all the time or sitting in an office chair. Which I luckily don't do, but still I travel so much I feel like I am in an office chair sometimes. So being able to know some go-to moves to open up is going to be super beneficial. So we'll do just a short video of some hip openers that hopefully will help give you some more space. So let's go ahead and start. Just closing the eyes down. So just kind of come into the body, not kind of, but really come into the body. Come into the breath. Coming into focus of the inhale and the exhale. One thing that's really going to help here when we're getting into some deep poses is being able to breathe through the tension and the discomfort, to get past the edginess and kind of be with what is happening, breathing into it, sinking deeper. So very important here. One more big inhale and exhale. Beautiful. So go ahead and we're going to start a forward fold here. So let's start like that. So go ahead and plant the feet, lift the hips up, bend the knees really quite generously, and let the torso hang. You can grab opposite elbows if you'd like. Send the hips side to side. You can spread the feet wide. So you're shaking, swaying the torso and swaying the hips, bending into one leg and then the other, so you really feel this in the hamstrings too. All right, so we're going to come in and out of Yogi Squat. So we're going to turn the toes out. The heels will be in. On an inhale, we're going to sink the hips low and gaze forward. On an exhale, push into the earth and fold forward. You can leave the toes out or you can turn the toes in when we fold forward, whichever one feels better. On an inhale, turn the toes out if they're not. This time bring the hands to heart center. Plant the hands. Exhale, hips high, fold forward. Again, toes come out, sink the hips low, hands to heart center, one breath in. And exhale, forward fold. All right, now let's come down and stay. Turn the toes out, sink the hips down. So this will look different for everyone. Some options you can do. If the heels are up, then you can bring like a rolled up blanket underneath, can really be helpful. The heels don't have to go down, but they're going in that direction. Yeah? So our culture has a really hard time sitting like this. Asian cultures, they kind of grow up sitting like this. In, where was I? I think I was in Vietnam, and I was walking around trying to find somewhere to eat. I'd bought some fruit, or I had bought a bowl of soup or something. I couldn't find a seat anywhere. I walked forever, and I couldn't find a seat anywhere. Everyone was eating, kind of sitting like this. So eventually I was like, well, I'm just going to sit like that. So I joined. But we don't, we're not in this position very often, unfortunately. So it might feel quite uncomfortable. So you can see here, I'm just shifting side to side. I'm kind of getting into the hips here. And maybe you're up more like this and just shifting side to side. Just stay with it. A couple more rounds of breath. And then exhale, bring the hips high. I have a little caterpillar joining me. And drop the head. And just begin to shimmy the feet wide here. So now they're quite wide. The toes are in and the heels are out. So we're going to drop the head down. Wide leg forward fold. The hands can come in between the feet. So you should be feeling in your hamstrings here as well. Begin to bend into one knee, into the right knee. And then we'll come over and bend into the left. So moving side to side. And then we're going to walk the hands all the way over towards the right side. I'm going to turn the right toes out. Turn the left toes up. So the heels, again, coming towards the ground. You might not be coming down like this. You might be more up like this, and that's fine. We're still getting into the hip. Yeah? Yes. And then begin to come up, and we walk over towards the other side. So they're probably different on each side. That's okay. Just notice what's going on each side. Maybe the hips come down, maybe the hips stay up. Let's come back over towards the front. Skandasana. That's one name for it. Coming up and over towards the left. Once more each side. Bring the hands to heart center here. Maybe you can push the arm back into the leg and give it a little more opening. And back to the other side, walking over. Turn the toes out. That gives you more space. So I can tell I'm a little tighter on this side. Bringing the hands together. And we're going to turn towards the right foot. Step the left foot to meet the right and hang forward, forward fold. You can separate the feet again here. And we're going to step back with the left foot. You can take the right hand, both of the hands onto the inside. So I'm going to bring the back knee down. You can leave it up if you'd like. So we come into lizard pose. So the right foot is over towards the side of your mat, or over towards the side a little bit. And you can stay right here. We have tons of options. You can begin to walk the hands forward. So this will slowly bring you down. If you're really open, you can start to bring the chest down towards the ground. You can also come down onto the elbows. I really like to have a block and put my head on a block right here, because then that releases the neck. So that can be really, really nice. So wherever you are, take a moment to figure out where you want to be, and let's stay for several rounds of breath. Sometimes it can be nice to kind of wiggle the hips a little bit, kind of get in a little bit deeper. And maybe here, see if you can extend the exhale a little bit longer. So the exhale is what allows us to deepen. So when we come up against that edginess, we might want to hold our breath a little bit. This might be uncomfortable. If you can focus on the exhale and allow us to sink in a little bit deeper. It just tells the body that we're safe, which we are. It might be a little intense, but it's safe. Beautiful. A couple more rounds of breath. Should be getting a really nice stretch in the hip flexors as well. Begin to lift the back knee, and we're going to step the right foot back into a downward facing dog. So not very long here. Just push the ground away, getting a big full body stretch. Inhale, roll the body forward. So come up onto the toes, roll the body forward, kind of arching the back into plank pose. And then push back into downward facing dog. Once more like that, just to get a nice full body movement here. Inhale, wave forward plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Walk the feet up towards the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. A little bit of cobra in the back. And exhale, fold. Again. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. So let's step back with the right foot now, lizard on the other side. We'll bring the left foot over towards the side. So same thing, but it probably won't be the same on both sides. So really check in, see what's going on. Maybe you're a little more, have a little more freedom on this side, or maybe it's a little bit tighter. And just kind of feel in. And then you can begin to move deeper if you'd like. Begin to walk the hands forward, or coming down onto the elbows. So lots of different options. And then again, like on the other side, really focusing on the exhale here. So smoothing out the full cycle of breath, but really focusing on the exhale. It can be nice to turn the palms up even here and like just a gesture of like, okay, I'm surrendering my hip, like I'm going to let it open. Maybe the head finds a block. And see what you're gripping in your body that you don't need right now. So maybe you're grinding the jaw or the glutes are active. See what you can let go of. Maybe sway side to side. A couple more rounds of breath. You got it. And begin to plant the hands. And let's step back again, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's wave forward plank pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. And once more like this, just kind of rinsing out, washing out. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, wave back. Beautiful. And let's come down onto the knees. So we're going to come into fire log pose. So you can bring the legs in front. I really like this pose. It can be, it's quite challenging, but it's really nice. So a couple different options. One, just starting option, bring one leg forward, and we'll bring the left leg on top. And we're just working to get this leg parallel. So you can work right here. And if this feels quite accessible to you, then we can move a little bit deeper and see if we can find the edge. So if this is the case, that this is very accessible, lean back into the hands, bring this bottom leg down as well. So what we're trying to do is match them, one on top of the other. You might be really open and they just fall down and you might not feel a lot here. Won't be the case for most people. I like to pull the flesh of my bum out a little bit. This helps to set the pelvis forward. And I'm just sitting, I don't want it like this so much. It's almost like I want my foot over here, so if I was going to put a flip-flop on, I could. So that's kind of a way to think about it. And then the shins will be parallel. So sitting up tall and leaning forward just a little bit, even just a tad bit of lean forward, you can really feel the gravity pulling down here. So fire log or full pigeon pose. Just let gravity do its thing. The knee might be even higher. It can be nice to have a block here if this is definitely not comfortable, so then you have a little bit of support. Otherwise, it can be nice just to let the leg come down with gravity. And just, millimeter by millimeter. This is quite an intense pose. You can close the eyes. And notice what's coming up in your mind if you're having thoughts of, I can't do this, I'm inflexible, or maybe you're annoyed with me for putting you in this pose. Notice what's coming up. If you're judging yourself, if you're blaming, if you're negative self-talk, or maybe this is feeling good. Just notice the quality of your thoughts. It's just important that we're checking in with that. A couple more rounds of breath. If you're breathing, you're doing it right. And then take the hands behind. Bring both of the soles of the feet on the ground. That feels good. And we'll just rock side to side. And then we'll switch sides. So just windshield wiper the legs. And then let's switch sides. So again, you can bring this time the left leg long and the right leg on top. Maybe you start here. You can even put some pressure onto this leg. Or you lean back and set yourself up here so the shins are parallel. So this is my more challenging side. I'm trying to get out of the habit of saying this is my bad side, because it's not bad, it's just more challenging. It just needs a little more love. So when the back is rounded, that puts the weight back on the hips and in the back body, which isn't where the stretch is. So we do want to kind of lean forward. You don't have to like fold forward. So you can if you want to intensify it. I normally will just stay sitting up, but I do shift my weight ever slightly forward, and you'll know where the edge is. And do keep the feet flexed. That'll help the knees. Maybe slowly you do walk forward just a little bit. So we're looking for the edge, and your edge is where you can fully inhale and exhale. So I can go all the way forward, but I'll probably be holding my breath if I do it. And then the benefit's not there. So honor your breath first. And 3 more rounds of breath. Slowly begin to plant the hands behind. Plant the soles of the feet on the ground. And again, windshield wiper the legs. Should feel quite nice. It is beautiful here today. I'm looking up at the sky. It's this blue. I don't know if you can see the sky in the frame, but lucky girl. Y'all come see me in Bali. I should be doing, I'll be teaching at Radiantly Live, depending on when you're watching this video. So I'll be teaching some public classes here, and of course doing some retreats and things. You can find that all online. All right. Well, I just wanted to show you a quick sequence. It doesn't have to be long to give your body some love. So this is just 4 poses that we worked on. Really yogi squat at the very beginning, and then skandasana going side to side. Lizard pose, and then fire log pose or full pigeon. So take what you like and leave the rest. And thank you so much for practicing with me. Again, cold chants, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.